The role of CFRM in a Sysplex. Coupling Facility Resource Management provides the services to manage coupling facility resources in a Sysplex. CFRM uses the CFRM couple dataset to maintain status data about the use of coupling facility resources in the Sysplex and to hold its copy of the active CFRM policy. Whenever a CFRM couple dataset is made available in the Sysplex, either for the first time or when a switch is made to a different CFRM couple dataset, CFRM becomes operational. Is the command used to activate a new CFRM administrative policy. If there is no currently active CFRM policy, any application request to use coupling facility resources will be denied. It might be necessary for the system programmer to define new administrative policies with the utility before issuing the setxcf start policy command to activate a CFRM policy. A coupling facility can be used by only one Sysplex at a time, thus providing for data integrity and preventing unintentional data loss. CFRM allows an installation to define how the coupling facilities attached to the Sysplex are to be used. The policy in the CFRM couple dataset defines each of the coupling facilities attached to the Sysplex and each of the coupling facilities structures that may be defined in those coupling facilities. The structure information must match that specified by the product or subsystem that uses it. The following keywords are used in the definition of the CFRM couple dataset. Is the total number of CFRM policies that may be defined in this CFRM couple dataset. Is the total number of coupling facilities that can be defined within a policy. Is the total number of coupling facility structures that can be defined in one policy. Is the total number of connections that can be defined to a coupling facility structure. It specifies that this CFRM couple dataset supports the system managed rebuild process. Specifies that this CFRM couple dataset supports the system managed duplexing rebuild process. In this example, the CFRM couple dataset is formatted with the following data. The name of the Sysplex is Plex1. The primary couple dataset is on dash volume. This is a CFRM couple dataset. This couple dataset can contain up to 6 policies, only one active. Up to 8 coupling facilities can be defined in this CFRM. Up to 50 structures can be defined in this couple dataset. Up to 32 systems can be attached to this couple dataset. The alternate couple dataset is on dash volume. Defining the CFRM policy. To set up your CFRM policy, you must know which systems and applications in your installation are making use of the coupling facility and what their structure requirements are. Each application specifies the structure types required and provides information as to the name and size of the structure or structures it uses. Based on this input, you must determine what an appropriate number of coupling facilities and how best to distribute the structures within the coupling facilities. A single coupling facility can only be used by one Sysplex at a time. To define a CFRM policy, you must identify each coupling facility, identify its structure. The only required parameters to define the structure are structure name, size, and pref list. All other parameters are optional. Define the amount of space within the coupling facility that you want for dumping. Is the administrative data utility for defining the CFRM, ARM, LogR, and CFM administration policies. The utility can be used to add a new policy, delete an existing policy in a coupled dataset, or provide reports about the policies in the dataset. Defining the CFRM policy. Every structure must be defined in the active CFRM policy. Size parameter specifies the maximum amount of storage to be allocated in the CF. Init size parameter specifies the initial amount of storage allocated in the CF. The init size cannot exceed the size parameter. Pref list parameter specifies the eligible CFs and attempts to allocate the structure in the first CF. Defining multiple coupling facilities. Multiple coupling facilities may be defined for a Sysplex. The installation defines how the coupling facilities are to be used. For example, which structure should be placed in which coupling facility. Identify CFRM CDS to Sysplex. Once the CFRM coupled datasets are formatted, they can immediately be brought into the Sysplex. The CFRM dataset may be defined to the Sysplex during the IPL in CoupleXX using the datatype CFRM statement, or it may be defined after the Sysplex is IPL'd using the command. Once the CFRM primary coupled dataset is active, use the command to change the primary coupled dataset. This command makes the alternate coupled dataset the new primary coupled dataset. The last active CFRM policy is saved in the CFRM CDS and restarted as part of the Sysplex IPL.